Stop scrolling. This moment. It's not random. It's divine. You didn't stumble on this message by accident. Something in the unseen world is aligning. And right now, money is moving toward you. But not with noise. Not with fireworks. With stillness. With quiet favor. You felt it, haven't you? That strange tension. The pull between lack and hope. You've been waiting for something to break. This is that break. But the door won't open by itself. It waits for your voice. It waits for the ancient phrase that unlocks it all. I receive. Not a whisper. Not a maybe. A command to the universe. Say it now. Feel the shift in your chest. Feel how everything in you wants to believe, but part of you resists. That's fear. Let it fall away. You are stepping into a season of overflow. Not because you earned it, but because you're aligned with it. Panic pushes blessings away. But peace draws them in like a magnet. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg. You need to expect. The money. The breakthrough. The opportunity. It's not coming later. It's already in motion. But only those with open hands receive. So ask yourself. Are you preparing for lack? Or are you preparing for provision? Say it again. Louder this time. I receive. Because once you declare it, everything shifts. You said, I receive. And the universe heard you. Now, the flow begins. But here's what most people miss. Provision doesn't crash into your life with a bang. It seeps in. Like morning light through the cracks of a dark room. Slow, but certain. And once it begins, nothing can stop it, except your own disbelief. The universe is precise. It does not waste blessings on the unprepared. It watches, silently, waiting for the moment your spirit aligns. Not your ego. Not your fear. Your spirit. So let me ask you again. Are you truly ready? Because when provision flows, it's not always wrapped in glitter. Sometimes, it looks like a new idea. A strange invitation. An uncomfortable yes. A whisper that says, go here. Call them. Apply anyway. The blessing isn't always obvious. But it's always obedient. It responds to the one who walks forward, blindfolded if necessary, just because they know the universe has already gone ahead of them. You don't need more proof. You need more trust. There are divine deposits being prepared for you. Unexpected checks. Sudden promotions. Opportunities you didn't ask for, but somehow, they know your name. But to access them, you must shift your internal frequency. Fear keeps your hands closed. Expectation opens them. You've been taught to brace for impact. To be realistic. To not get your hopes up. But that mindset was never yours. It was inherited from others who lost faith in the flow. Not you. You are here because you remember. Somewhere deep in your being, you still believe in divine timing. You still believe something bigger is orchestrating every delay, every detour, every door that once slammed shut in your face. None of it was punishment. It was preparation. The universe never withholds. It times. Because giving a blessing too early is the same as letting it rot in your hands. You had to be readied. And now, you are. There is no more begging. No more chasing. Only alignment. Only agreement. Say this. What is meant for me is already on its way. Say it like you mean it. Because the universe responds to boldness, not timidity. To clarity, not confusion. To unwavering faith, not anxious pleas. And in this season, faithfulness is the key that unlocks the floodgates. Not perfection. Not control. Not spreadsheets or strategies or late-night worry. Faith. Alignment. Obedience to that quiet, inner nudge that says, keep showing up. If you feel stuck right now, listen closely. You are not being blocked. You are being positioned. Everything that feels delayed is simply being adjusted to fit the miracle that's about to find you. Keep your spirit open. Keep your words in alignment. And whatever you do, don't stop saying it. I receive. You've spoken the words. I receive. But now comes the part most people miss, the part that separates those who dream from those who walk in abundance. You must prepare. As if it's already yours. The universe does not bless those who wait with crossed arms. It blesses those who build, even when it rains. Even when nothing makes sense yet. Even when the bank account says, not enough, but the spirit says, any moment now. You see, the wealth that's coming to you, it's not random. It's not luck. It's not some cosmic accident. It's a reward. For your faith. For your diligence. For staying upright when life tried to crush you. And the moment you shift into expectation, everything accelerates. The universe begins to move faster. You'll notice it in the small things first. A payment you forgot about. A client reaching out from nowhere. A conversation that suddenly opens a door. You'll want to dismiss it, don't. Because these are the whispers before the storm. The tiny signals that the floodgates are trembling. The veil is thinning. And your overflow is closer than it's ever been. But this part, this stretch of the path, it requires something ancient. Something rare. Readiness. Ask yourself. Would you be ready if that financial miracle dropped in your lap tonight? Would your mindset match the blessing? Would your hands know what to do with it? Would your habits support the weight of wealth? The universe doesn't give based on desperation. It gives based on capacity. So enlarge your container. Create room. Clear the clutter, mentally, emotionally, physically. Because provision only fills what's empty and open. This is where the spiritual warrior rises. Where you move like the wealth has already arrived. Not out of ego, but out of reverence. Reverence for divine timing. Reverence for the seed that became a harvest. Reverence for the fact that what once seemed impossible is already assigned to your life. You are no longer chasing money. Money is chasing you. It's looking for places to land. And the most fertile ground is expectation. So act like the deal is done. Speak like the contract is signed. Walk like the promotion is sealed. Show up like the door is already open. Because it is. And every time doubt tries to creep back in, you know what to say. I receive. Whisper it. Shout it. Pray it. Let it become your rhythm, your breath, your anchor. Because wealth is not something you find. It's something you align with. And you, my friend, are aligned. Here's the truth. The universe doesn't bless what you want. It blesses what you move. You're not waiting on money. Money is waiting on your momentum. You keep asking for more, but you haven't used what you already have. And that's why it hasn't multiplied. The law is ancient. Divine. What you sow, grows. You don't need a big breakthrough. You need to honor the small one in your hands. That idea you keep ignoring. That contact you haven't called back. That skill you haven't charged for. That's the seed. And seeds aren't meant to be studied. They're meant to be planted. The universe doesn't move for hesitation. It moves for the bold. When you take even one step in faith, even trembling, even broke, you activate a flow. A real one. One that reaches into unseen places and starts calling resources forward. People you haven't met yet. Opportunities you couldn't plan for. Money that seems to come out of nowhere. But it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of alignment. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. That's fear wearing wisdom as a disguise. Faith doesn't wait. Faith builds in the dark. That's how spiritual power works. You show the universe you're serious, by acting before the blessing shows up. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Do one thing today that says, I'm ready for wealth. Maybe it's opening the business bank account. Maybe it's launching the offer. Maybe it's just standing taller, speaking differently, walking like the person who already has what you've asked for. Because when you prepare for increase, the universe increases you. Not in theory. In reality. Faith is not belief. Faith is movement. So move. Don't wait until everything's perfect. Use what you have, and watch it multiply. Say this now. What I carry is more than enough. Say it until your doubt gives up. Until the fear gets drowned out by certainty. Until the energy around you shifts. Because you're not hoping anymore. You're claiming. And every time your hands move in faith. Every time you speak life into your ideas. Every time you stop shrinking and start showing up. You invite overflow. This is divine law. And the only way to break scarcity is to act like it's already broken. So say it again. I receive. And then move like it's done. You weren't meant to just get by. To scrape, hustle, or constantly wonder if it's enough. That's not abundance. That's survival. And survival is not your destiny. You are not here to chase money. You're here to command it. Overflow is not a miracle. It's a frequency. And the moment you align with it, it starts flowing. But here's what you have to understand. The universe doesn't match your desire. It matches your standard. If you expect just enough, that's what you'll get. If you prepare for more than enough, the flow expands to meet you. The problem isn't lack. It's low expectations disguised as humility. You keep asking for bills to be paid. When the universe is trying to hand you legacy. But legacy doesn't land on the unprepared. It lands where there's room. So clean the room. Mentally. Emotionally. Physically. Get your life in order like you're expecting wealth to walk in the front door. You are not a beggar. You're a vessel. And overflow flows through the ready. Ask yourself. If millions hit your account tomorrow, would your life hold it? Would your habits protect it? Would your decisions multiply it, or drain it? Overflow comes when you think like a steward, not a struggler. That means tracking your finances like wealth already exists. Giving like supply is infinite. Showing up to your work, even the job you hate, as if it's your training ground for something far bigger. Because it is. Overflow doesn't care about your bank balance. It cares about your posture. The way you walk. Speak. Decide. Carry yourself. You think it's about effort. But effort without energy is just exhaustion. Your energy must embody wealth. That's how doors open. That's how resources find you. That's how unexpected blessings appear, not by chance, but by calibration. This is why people with less talent succeed. They simply expect to win. They speak like it's already done. They treat overflow as normal. And it becomes normal. So here's your shift. Stop trying to survive. Start expecting overflow. Not someday. Now. Not after the raise. Not after the breakthrough. Now. Because the moment you normalize abundance, it becomes your new normal. Say this with your whole being. Overflow is my standard. Not a stretch. Not a fantasy. A baseline. And every time your old mindset whispers lack, you shut it down with power. I receive. Because from this point forward, you're not waiting on wealth. Wealth is waiting on you. Wealth has a rhythm. And once you're in it, you'll feel the shift. Opportunities show up. Money flows easier. You speak, and things move. But with every flow, comes a fight. Not from outside. From within. Because as soon as abundance starts rising, so do old patterns. Scarcity starts whispering again. Fear pretends to be wisdom. Comfort tries to pull you back to average. You'll be tempted to shrink. To slow down. To sabotage what you prayed for. Don't. This is financial warfare. A test of focus. A battle between your old identity and your new reality. And the enemy is subtle. It shows up as, be careful. As, maybe this is too much. As random emergencies, delays, sudden losses, meant to break your momentum. But don't panic. That's not failure. It's resistance. And resistance only shows up when something big is trying to break through. So what do? You stay anchored. You protect the flow with discipline. With boundaries. With clarity. You treat every dollar like it's sacred. Every opportunity like it's divine. Every yes like a contract with the universe. Because it is. You don't lower your energy to match the chaos. You raise your focus to match the promise. This is what separates temporary increase from sustained overflow. Many receive wealth. Few are ready to keep it. So build your walls now. Not to keep people out, but to keep frequency in. Guard your habits. Audit your circle. Protect your peace like it's worth millions, because it is. The more wealth flows, the more quiet you must become. Still. Centered. Tuned in. Because distraction is expensive. And drama is a luxury you can't afford. You're not just manifesting money. You're building a spiritual empire. A reality where wealth supports your purpose. And purpose multiplies your wealth. That's why the resistance is so strong. Because what you're building will outlive you. So when life throws shade, you don't flinch. You rise. You remember who you are. You protect the gate. And you speak the truth louder than the noise. I receive. Not just the blessing. But the strength to hold it. The focus to protect it. The wisdom to multiply it. This is warfare. But you're not just a warrior. You are the weapon. Stand still for a second. Breathe. Feel it. There's no more waiting. No more almost. No more next time. It is done. You've stepped into the rhythm. You've received the frequency. You've moved with faith. You've aligned your voice, your hands, your thoughts. And now, the gates are open. The old version of you, the one who doubted, delayed, and dimmed their light to survive, is gone. Buried. Done. In its place stands a being of absolute clarity. Overflow isn't just around you now. It's within you. You've been chosen to carry this wealth. To multiply it. To flow it. To bless others through it. And because you are faithful, you are trusted. Because you are trusted, you are expanded. And because you are expanded, you are unstoppable. Now say this, with fire in your spirit. I decree, I am wealthy. I am chosen. I am in overflow. This isn't just affirmation. It's activation. Every word you speak from this moment forward must echo this truth. Every choice must align with this identity. Scarcity is no longer a part of your story. Fear no longer gets a seat at your table. Survival has no home in your spirit. You are the abundance. You are the answer. You are the miracle someone else is praying for. And from this moment forward, lack must flee. Opportunities chase you. Money recognizes your energy. Resources respond to your name. You no longer knock on closed doors. You build your own gates. You create your own flow. Because your life is proof that the universe does not forget the faithful. Now go. Make space for miracles. Speak with power. Move with precision. Live like Overflow is your birthright, because it is. And whenever the old voice tries to rise up again, you already know what to say. I receive. And so it is.